Hi everyone, what is up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ella and I make a whole mishmash of videos, everything from university advice to lifestyle. So if you clicked onto this video, you're wondering, should I be studying English at university? And you've come to the right place because I'm going to be giving you a lowdown on all the things you need to know about an English degree. Before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post 3 times a week on Tuesday, Thursdays and Sundays, and I would love to have you join the family. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So, why did I choose to study English? Now, you may not know this about me, but I actually want to be a broadcast journalist when I leave university. I have wanted to be a journalist my whole life, ever since I can remember. And that is quite a common career path that a lot of people who study English want to go into. But the reason I chose English instead of a journalism degree was because English actually gives you a lot of other options. So there's plenty of other avenues of work that you can go into if you study English, just in case I wanted to change my mind. Also, I genuinely loved English at school. It was my favourite subject, like literally ever since I can remember. I also found that I was quite good at it and I never found it hard to get a good mark in English, which was a good sign that I'd succeed in it at university. So what skills do you actually need to study English? In a way, I kind of see English as working for yourself. You're given all the material, you're given all of the information, but at the end of the day, it's up to you what you do with it. So in that way, you have to be very proactive and very independent and very happy to work off your own back. I just want to say there is a key difference between reading and writing and then studying English. They are 3 completely different things, because studying English is nothing like writing for fun and it's nothing like reading for fun. When you study English, you are thinking about analysis, you're thinking about history, you are thinking about biographies, you are thinking about context always, and most of the time you're thinking about the wider implications of what you're reading. So in that way, it's not like when you read a book for fun and you're just, you know, taking the plot and enjoying the characters. You are scrutinizing everything you're reading, and it's just a different way of approaching things. So if you are thinking about studying English just because you love reading, then I don't think it will be the course for you. That moves me on very nicely. The reading. Do you need to love reading to study English? My honest answer is no, because I do not love reading. I used to love reading when I was younger. When I was younger, I used to be reading like 5 books a day, honey boo. Like honestly, all the time I'd be like cranking out them books. But nowadays, I don't. It actually nowadays takes a lot for me to love a book, and it takes a lot for me to really enjoy what I am reading. So when you study English, they do actually say that you have to read every single text that they set you. In reality, nobody actually studies all of those texts, and that is just a fact. But the reason they give you so many is not because they're going to test you on that many texts, but it's because they want to show you all of the things that are available to you and give you a good stead in every single one. So what I'm trying to say is that if you've read all of the books and gone to all of the lectures, then you will have a much better range of options to choose when it comes to writing your coursework or taking your exam. Let's be clear, an English degree is not just reading. I think that is the bottom line. It's not just the reading. And actually, it's not just books either. It includes plays, it includes films. There are lots of other things you study besides just novels, which I think is a really key thing to mention, because I definitely thought it was just going to be like Shakespeare and Dickens and like medieval text. It's absolutely not. My last coursework was on all 9 films in the Star Wars franchise, which was really cool, and I loved writing it. And it involved absolutely no reading whatsoever. So now I'm going to take you through what an average day as an English student is like. So obviously I can't speak for every course, but I know that in a lot of universities this is the same. So on an English degree, you generally have around 10 to 15 contact hours in first year, and every year they decrease. So for example, second year I had 9 contact hours a week, which doesn't sound like a lot. Basically, the reason we have less contact hours than you would say a STEM subject like physics or biology is because we are expected to do a lot of the work off our own back. And as I said, with the extra time that you have, they expect you to be doing the reading. Whether you actually do the reading is a whole other thing, but that is what you're expected to do with the time. I'm gonna talk from my own experience. An average day for me would probably be, you know, waking up. I'd be like getting up for my, let's say I've got a 9 AM, right? I've probably got a 2-hour workshop in the morning. I'll go to that, I'll have a 2-hour break. Maybe I'll go for like a coffee in Portland Coffee. Then I might go to my 1-hour lecture in the afternoon on Paradise Lost by John Milton, you know, on a whole book. I'll sit there with my friend Joe and we'll drink some coffee and we'll have a bit of a shit and a giggle, and then I might go home and read for an hour and do all my society stuff. I might go to NSTV and like do some filming for them, or you know, I might go home and eat my dinner and do some work, do some reading, then go out with my friends. I think the key thing is, I mean, every day is different at university, but like generally that's kind of what happens most days. So a question I get asked a lot is, what kind of books do you study? So in first year, they generally want to give you breadth over depth. So they want to show you the wide expanses of literature from all the different, you know, periods and sections and aspects and whatever else. So for example, in my first year, we had one module all about medieval English and Old English, which is like way back when, you know, we're talking like damsels in distress in their towers and their turrets, that kind of thing. I also had a whole module on literary linguistics and how like language is studied in a scientific sense, which I never expected to study when I went to uni, but it's definitely a whole different kind of subject that I didn't expect to learn. It's nice to be exposed to that kind of stuff though. I wouldn't have probably chosen that module otherwise. Oh, that's another thing. Every single week for every single module, there is going to be a new text. That is across the board standard for most universities. Every single week you'll be expected to have read a text. You also have a whole module on drama as well, which is personally my favourite. The assessments. Now obviously this differs from every single university. In my personal experience, I had 2 exams in first year, but apart from that, it has been predominantly coursework all the way up until now, and I know we'll only have coursework in third year as well. I personally prefer that because I feel like with English, it's not a memory game, it is about how well you can argue your point, and I feel like memorising the information doesn't necessarily improve that skill, it just improves my memory skills rather than my ability to argue. So next, the difference between studying English at school and studying it at university. So in sixth form, you probably study around 4 or 5 books over the course of 2 years, which is obviously very, very different to what you do at university. At university, you're expected to study a book a week. You have 1 seminar, 1 lecture on that book, and then that is it. They send you off into the big wide world. They're like, go write an essay on it. Obviously, they have office hours, so if you have any questions, you can go and ask your questions there. But apart from that, it is kind of up to you. Whereas in sixth form, you get the depth and you get the deep understanding of a book, and it literally becomes like you know it inside out, you know all the quotes. That is just not what it's like at university. You don't get to know a book inside out. You get to know it very well if you study it for coursework, but other than that, you don't really. It's kind of up to you. So next up, the point of studying English. I see a lot of posts saying like English is a pointless degree, and it infuriates me because I disagree, and I'm not just saying that because I study it, I'm saying it because I genuinely believe it. I think you have to think of English in a way of transferable skills. Most of the people that study English will probably go on to work in a sector that has nothing to do with English. But you've got to think about the skills that English does actually teach you. English is a very, very, very creative subject. It encourages you to form your own opinions and form your own arguments, and come up with your own ideas for every single text. It also gives you a lot of knowledge about the world and about history and about cultural attitudes, which can be so helpful. I'm going into media, and I feel like by studying English I have gained a much better understanding of how the world as we know it has come to be and how social attitudes have changed over time, which I think is really important when you're going into a sector such as media, because it's all about what is going on in the world and people's attitudes. As I said earlier, it can also lead you into a lot of different career paths. So if you want to go into media, or you want to go into digital marketing, or you want to be, there's so many different options that you can be when you study English. I'm not going to go through them, but there are so many different career paths that you can go down. So I guess the real question is English right for you? I think my overarching answer to that would be, if you are willing to work hard and you genuinely have a passion for learning about the world through literature, then yes, it is for you. English is not for you if you're just studying it because you like reading. English is so much more than that, and I cannot hammer that home enough. And finally, I'm going to answer the question, if I could choose to study English again, would I? See, over the years I have wavered in my confidence in the course. I feel like in first year I wasn't sure if it was for me because I found it really hard. I found the transition really hard. It's natural to find it really hard though. I just want to put that out there. Everyone finds it difficult at first. That's why first year doesn't count. As you settle into the course and you get more used to the way it's taught, honestly, like, I love my degree now. I literally couldn't imagine studying a different degree. I love the professors on my degree. I love the books we study. I just love the way it's taught. I love the freedom that I've got. I actually love how I'm able to craft my own argument. I think that's one of the best things about my degree, is that I can make it into whatever I want it to be. I really can sort of build my own degree in that sense. So yes, I would pick it again, over and over again. I would pick English. Okay, so that just about rounds up today's video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you would like a notification every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, then my handle is @EllaMeHorton. Follow me on there for all the most up-to-date information on what is going on in my life, and follow me on TikTok. My handle is @EllaMeHorton and the last O is a 0. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!